Hi guys, it's Lynn here. Hope everyone is having an amazing day. Now today this is going to be my overwintering vlog number 3. And the first one was how overwintering the cactus seedlings. The second one is overwintering all of the Hylocereid group of family, which is the dragon fruit Selenicereus, Peniocereus and the like. And today's video vlog, I'm going to be bringing in some more of the cacti that are not so cold hardy as the other ones. And as I mentioned before, the majority of these cacti are going to be staying out here in the polytunnel. And we have a heater here that comes on if the temperature drops to 5 Celsius, about 41 degrees Fahrenheit, and it never drops below that in here. So lots of these are going to be kept in here, but we have got quite a few delicate ones that are going to be coming in, including all of the euphorbias here, because these need a minimum temperature of about 10 Celsius, which is about 50 degrees Fahrenheit. And also other types of cacti as well. We've got Prescioposis here. They sort of prefer to be about 10 C50F as well. And all the other ones are pretty much okay, especially all the Echinopsises, Gymnoclisiums and all the like there. But what I'm going to be doing in this video, I'm going to do a separate video when I bring in all of the euphorbias. I'll probably do that probably either tomorrow or the next day after's video vlog. We've got very tall euphorbias here, and quite a bit of euphorbia. So it's probably going to be keep that for a separate video, probably be overwintering vlog number 4. But in this video, I'm going to be bringing in some of the cacti that are they're not necessarily cold sensitive, but they're just that bit too young for me to risk leaving outside in the polytunnel this year. And these are some of our Astrophytum cacti. And Astrophytums are pretty cold hardy as long as they're kept completely dry over the winter rest period. But these ones here are very small, so I don't want to take any chances. And I overwintered these ones last year inside the house. They did very well. These ones are all new ones that we've got from our friend Derek this year, and I just don't want to risk them outside. You can see they're quite young, still in the just after coming out to the seedling stage. And also this Turbinicarpus here, Flaviflorus. We do have a couple of Turbinicarpuses do perfectly okay. Again, they're pretty cold hardy, but this one is still a young plant, so I want to bring that one in as well. So I'm going to be showing you what ones we're going to be bringing in. Here we've got a lot of our Lophophoras. We've got a new Lophophora that we got this year when we had a rare cacti unboxing, probably a few weeks ago. And they're going to be kept in the grow room because they were grown previously from the previous owner indoors, so they're going to be overwintered indoors first year. But these Lophophoras are my old, I've had for many, many years. They'll be absolutely fine out here as long as they're kept dry. And look at that, guys. Matacana madicinorum still blooming. It's been blooming for days. Absolutely gorgeous. And it's November. Crazy or what? And all the rest of the cacti pretty much okay. The succulents as well. These are a lot of our sort of echeverias and everything like that. So these, I need to prune back some of the dead leaves on them and that, and keeping these mostly dry, just watering any when they start to shrivel. And the same with the aloes, because aloes tend to be winter growers as well. Some of my aloes go completely dormant in the winter. Some still want to grow, so I keep an eye on which ones need a little bit of water over the winter. Same with a lot of the succulents as well. And all the Opuntias here, which is a prickly pear group, these are going to be kept totally dry over the winter. And this Opuntia salmiana, Austraslinga salmiana, is still blooming as well. It's been blooming for about 3 months now. And it's amazing, November, there's still loads more buds on it as well, as you can see, starting to come up. It's going to be blooming in December. I think it's trying to compete with the Thanksgiving cactus here, which is packed with buds, as a lot of my others are. So that's a little bit of my little waffle here. So what I'm going to be doing now is choosing a selection of cacti that I'm going to be bringing in today, and show you what I've chosen on the table. Now guys, that's all the cacti that's going to be bought in for today. And I'll just show you there, I've got the Prescioposis here. They're going to be coming in. And also I've got 2 large Preschia aculeatas here. These 2 beautiful large plants. These are going to be coming in today as well. And all of these cacti. And the reason why I'm bringing these in, as I say, it's to do more with the minimum temperatures, or plants that I think might be a little bit dodgy because they're still that bit too young. Now here, this one here, I think this is some type of Myrtilio cactus, and they again need a minimum temperature of 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 C, so that's coming in. This one here is a Stetsonia corrine, and although it can be very cold hardy, as you can see, this particular one has a bit of scabbiness, and it's I don't know what happened to it. It went a bit scabby in the polytunnel last year, so I'm going to overwinter it indoors. Although it can take cold temperatures, as I say, I'm going to not risk a chance with this one this year, so that's coming in. This one here is some type of Pilosocereus variety, not sure the type, but again, they need a minimum temperature of 50°F, 10°C. This one here is commonly known as the fairy tale cactus, and again, it's very mixed on the minimum temperatures, but because we're here in Ireland, Northern Ireland, that is high humidity, I'm going to take that in to overwinter it. This one here is a little Pachycereus marginatus, again, needs a minimum temperature 10°C, 50°F. We have a much larger one outside in our other little greenhouse out there, but that's going to be coming in the next few days when we bring in all our tall cacti. So that's going to be an interesting video, guys. And then here, this one I'm going to be bringing in, so I'm not actually sure what type it is. It was a rescue that was given to us from somebody at the Cactus Society it was a couple of years ago now, and it was very yellow and anemic looking. We repotted it and it's gone lovely and green, and a new little pup grown at the top. It could be a Trichocereus variety, and if it was, it could definitely stay outside here in the polytunnel. But because it could also be a Pilosocereus, because they can look very similar, especially when they're young, I don't want to take a chance. Going to overwinter that inside. Here is another Pilosocereus variety. This one here is another Pilosocereus variety, a much hairier version. This one here is an Espostoa. And although, again, we have to show you our very old Espostoa here. That's a very old one there. That one has overwinters very well in the polytunnel, but this one is quite young, and when they are young they can be quite rot prone, especially with all the hair, and that's why I'm going to take that into overwinter. And then here we have two little Gymnocalciums. Now Gymnocalcium cacti are very cold hardy, the majority anyway. This is a lot of our Gymnocalcium cacti here. We keep these cool and dry for the winter, never have a problem with them. But this is our first year with these two particular ones, because these were given to us by our friend Derek, who lives here in Ireland, and they're very young. They're seedlings. They're probably bigger than seedlings now, but because they are so young, I'm not taking a chance. I'm going to overwinter them in the inside. And these are some of our small astrophytums. And again, astrophytum is very cold hardy. The Asterias one, which is these ones here, the Asterias, they're not as cold hardy. They can be very rot prone. So obviously it's paramount I bring these indoors. And also these are still very small astrophytums. And as I say, astrophytum in general is very cold hardy cactus. I mean, I'll show you some of our very old ones here. Two big old ones I've had for absolutely years. They do very well, kept dry and cool. As long as they're not watered, they do well in overwintered in cool temperatures. And the same with these other ones. These are still quite small, but they're old enough to stay out. But these are too young. I don't want to risk anything. And sometimes when they're very small like this, usually by the time January, February comes, they can start to shrivel, and then you need to water them. And if they're in a cool environment, then rot can set in. But if they're indoors in the house, under the grow lights, they will overwinter pretty good there. These little cuties here were gifted to us from our wonderful friend Daz and Edith from Cacti Mania. So thanks, guys. They're doing very well, as you can see. And some lovely beauties here. So that's them. Now I'm just going to talk a bit more about the other plants we are going to be bringing in over the next few days. Now we have some taller cacti, such as this one here, and these ones here. Never really been able to properly ID these type of Cereuses, but I do know, personally from my experience, I don't think they're particularly cold hardy. So these are going to be being brought in the next few days when we bring our tall cacti in, such as this very big Pilosocereus here. And I'll show you what we've got else also in the polytunnels, the little greenhouses we've got here. We've also got loads of tall cacti, and the majority of them are Trichocereus varieties. They're extremely cold hardy, especially if they're kept dry, so they'll be able to go back into the main polytunnel and kept with the heater at 5°C, so never a problem there. And but we have other ones as well. You can see it's one of our spiralises, and this is our lovely Bucania recuvata, commonly known as a ponytail plant. That's going to be coming in, because obviously that would need a minimum of 50°F, 10°C as well. And we'll probably have a few odd bods that may need to come in, but the taller ones, there's another Pachycereus marginatus there, and a very large Pachycereus marginatus. This is a very large plant, probably be no problem in the polytunnel, but I'm going to bring it in anyway. The same with this one here. to be on the safe side. And I've got some cloister cacti here that I don't want to risk. Other types of serriaces that not so cold hardy will be coming in, and we're going to be we're actually in the middle of, and I'm going to make a video when I do it, guys. Me and Hans are actually going to convert our little spare, we've got a little spare room downstairs that it sounds awful, but it's actually a little toilet room. We never use it, but it's got great light in there, so we're going to put up some grow lights and use it to store some of the tall cacti in that are not so cold hardy. We're going to make a whole video when we do it and show you installing the grow lights and everything like that, so stay tuned for that, coming up probably in the next few days. And also this one here, so this is a Piloceus gunelli. Also, so Piloceus needs a minimum of 50 F10C, so that's going to be coming in when we bring the other tall ones in. And that's pretty much it. Now, as I say, it's been very mild here for the beginning of November, and I think the coldest it's ever really been is 6, 7, and we've had the heater on, even though we don't normally have it on unless it drops below 5C, 41 degree Fahrenheit, but because we still got some of the cacti that are sensitive to cold, especially the euphorbias, we've had to have the heater on if it drops really below 10. And also these are a couple of our Frithia succulents, and a Frithia succulent, commonly known as the baby toes, it can take a little bit of cool temperatures, but personally in my experience they're very prone to fungus, especially with our high humidity levels. So I'm going to be bringing these in. This one is just starting to come into flower, or into bud I should say, so I'm going to make sure that I keep this pretty much in the same position it was in the polyton, or in the house, in a window, so hopefully the flower will still open. Very exciting to see. But these again, I would say minimum 10C, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. And by the way, guys, I have mentioned before, but I should have mentioned this earlier, if you want to know all about minimum temperatures for your cacti and succulents and what can be overwintered at what, it really does depend obviously on the type of cactus and succulent, but also largely on your environment. A lot of the cacti I'm bringing in can certainly take lower temperatures than what I'm saying, but because we live in Ireland, in Northern Ireland, it's the same with the UK, many parts of Europe, it's very humid and damp in the winter, and that's why I prefer to bring them into the house. If you live in an arid environment, you live in a part of the world where it's much drier air humidity, then a lot of the cacti can take much cooler temperatures. In fact, many growers don't even heat their polytunnels or greenhouses at all if they live in an arid environment, even when they have frost. But here it's damp, so this is one size doesn't really fit all, but when I say minimum temperatures, it's a general all-rounder. And if you want to know a lot more detail on that and how to overwinter cacti succulents, please do check a video out I've made on how to overwinter cacti succulents. Links up above, and also put it at the end screen of this video and down below in the video description as well. Also, there's the mellow cacti as well. We've got 2 mellow cactus here. They are more tropical cacti and don't like to be kept totally bone dry for very long time in the winter. They also need a minimum temperature of 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 10C as well. So these two are going to be coming into my grow room as well. Now here I am in my grow room here. And as you can see, there's some of the plants to put away, the Prescyopsis, but I've put some away already. I'll show you where I've put them, and I'm going to show you where I put the rest of them after. The little patchy Cereus marginatus in there next to the other one, and one of the Piloceus is there, and I've also put the 2 mellow cacti here, and I'll show you what I've done as well. I put the little Esbostoa there next to the other one we've got there, and then I put the little seedling here. Not sure what this is, and that's why I brought it in to overwinter with some of our little lofts that we got recently, so that's going to overwinter quite well there. And then what I've done here is I've put all of the little tiny astrophytums here with some of our other sort of young plants here, including our little baby seedlings. We've got astrophytum seedlings here that have grown from seed, and also our little Ophophora texensis seedlings that have grown from seed there, that's all potted up all into these little tiny clay pots, and some of our Homolocephala texensis, also known as the horse crippler cactus seedlings there. So that's where I've put all them away. So they're going to overwinter well then, as you can see, all nice and tidy. I'm a bit of a tidy freak that likes them all to look nice and the labels all going the right way. Yeah, I know it's a bit of an OCD thing, guys. And also, it's also important that I can reach all the plants as well. I mean, my windows are filthy because I can't reach them because of all the plants. But the most important thing is as long as I can reach them, to water them all. Not that I'm going to be watering any. These cacti are going to be kept dry now all through the winter months. But obviously, when you come to March, when they start to put into growth, but it's still that bit too early to put them into the polytunnel, I may need to still start a watering on them, so I need to make sure I can reach them. Plus these seedlings here are Astrophytum seedlings, and Alophora texensis seedlings are still that young, so they will still need to be watered throughout the winter, so it's important I can reach them. But all the others are all going to be kept dry. Now I'm going to put away the remainders that I got left and show you where I put them. Tra-la! That's it all put away. And I've got the some of the taller cacti here, the Matilio cactus, the Piloserius, the Stetsonia corine, and also the little Piloserius there, and the ones we put in the window. And then I've moved some of the seedlings over onto this little table here. This is my little seed propagation station, and I've got some red Bushia cacti here, seedlings, and Pelasgia chichipi seedlings there. Some seedlings here that are still too young to take the cover off, a mixture of everything. And here I've got cuttings that are rooting, so little Ariocarpus seedlings, and as I mentioned there, my little Ophophora and everything there. And what I've done is I've moved some of the Hylocereus ones that I had on here onto this side, next to the Epiphyllum seedlings here. And this means this tray here is all free then to bring in some of the smaller euphorbias, which I'll probably do that video in the next couple of days. That'll be vlog number 4 or 3, I can't remember now. But that'll be the next one. The very large euphorbias are going to be probably going into the kitchen and into the new grow room which we're making with the tall other type of cacti that we're going to be, the big tall Pilocereus we're going to be overwintering. So this is all free for that, but I'm going to bring the small ones in and do that as a separate video. And the lovely Perescias here, we've got down here, which is on the plant stand. I've got some of the Slumbergeras there all in bud, which is very exciting. And the Perescias here. And there's the Mars Hydra. I can't get too close because it sort of overrides the camera light. But as you can see, this gives off an amazing light, as does the Spider Farmer and the Mars Hydro. It's a bright day anyway, but I've got them on just to show you that the whole of this room is going to be well lit. This light comes right across over here. So these Perescias are going to get plenty of light for the winter. Bear in mind that the majority of all these cacti, other than the seedlings, are going to be overwintering anyway, so light isn't such a necessity. But I always think the more light you can give them, the better. And these are where I put the two little Frithia, commonly known as the baby toes succulents there, and I've got this one facing in the same direction it was in the polytunnel, so fingers crossed the flowers should open. It's going to get plenty of sun here as well as from the grow light. So that's that, guys. I hope you like it. It looks still good to see the space left to bring the other ones that I'm going to be bringing in. So say there's more space here on the table as well, so stay tuned for the next video coming up the next probably couple of days of bringing in the mostly the smaller euphorbias. I'm going to do a nice little display on here. And as I say, if you want to know more on how to overwinter cacti succulents and their minimum and maximum temperatures, do check out that video. As I say, links will be up above at the end of the screen of this video now, and also down below in the video description. And if you haven't done already, please do subscribe. And if you want to know lots more tips and tricks on how to care and grow for cacti succulents, as well as subscribing to my channel, please do check out my website, desertplantsofavalon.com. I want to send you loads of love, heaps of happiness, and tons of plant power from across the Emerald Isle. And until my next video, bye.